Hey, Silvern here with a video today for you about Coral Island. It's a fun new farm simulator type game with plenty of fun new twists on the genre, which can lead to a little bit of a learning curve. That's where I come in and wanted to share with you the best tips I wished I had known going into it. Let's start with your settings menu the moment you get started. You can actually change the speed at which the days progress, and I strongly recommend turning it down to 50% until you learn your way around and meet all the townsfolk. There's also a little bit of combat, but if you don't want to experience much, if any at all, turn your combat mode to hit to aggro. This way monsters won't automatically attack you. They'll only engage if you hit them first. There are also a few nice visual modifiers you can change, such as a dyslexic font, font size, colorblind modes, colorblind strength, and a few other things. Be sure to explore their settings to make it the best you can for yourself. As soon as you are able to, collect a little bit of trash and craft a chest immediately and set it somewhere on the farm. Your inventory slots will start off very few in number, and there are a lot of things you can forage, so you will run out of room before you know it. Store anything you don't need right away in these chests. Start talking to the townspeople. There are a lot of them. But once you do, it will unlock their location on your map as well as their information in your Relationships tab in the menu. You can see their likes and dislikes once you start giving them things. You can see their birthday, and the best part, a Find NPC button in the bottom right. Click this and you will automatically be zeroed into their location so you don't have to go scrolling and hunting for them to chase them down and give them quest items or gifts. Also, if you hover above the location of a business, you can see their hours of operation at any time. As you're running through town introducing yourself, don't be scared to rummage through any overflowing trash can you see. No one is going to judge or disapprove, and you don't always find just trash in them. There can be some surprises lurking in them. Let's talk about your farm. You have a lot of work to do to clean it up, but keep in mind your 4 entrances and exits, one in each cardinal direction. Whenever you have extra stamina left at the end of the day, be working on clearing a path to each one. When you're racing to get in bed before 1 a.m. and you have no stamina left, you don't want to pass out because you got stuck in the amount of debris in your fields. And speaking of stamina, you can go as low as -14 and still be able to be conscious. You can eat to pull your numbers back up, but if you hit -15, you will not only pass out, but you will only have half a bar of stamina the next day. There are different levels of warnings, thankfully. Once you get to 20 stamina, each action will make the world turn more gray, and then once you hit 0, your character will be incredibly sluggish. This won't be much of an issue until you level up your equipment, but once you get a bronze watering can, it will apply more. You can actually strafe your character by holding down control and then moving in the direction of your choice. So when you're holding down to use more water in a straight line, strafe and you will waste much less. Also, once you plant trees, make sure you water them. I didn't realize I was supposed to water them and lost so many trees early on. Don't make my mistake. You can harvest any and all crops with your scythe. It will not harm the ones that aren't ready yet, so don't be shy about using it. Did you plant something and forget what it was? Right-click and hover over a planted crop and it will not only tell you what it is, but how many days it has left until it's ready for harvest. You'll have access to a bug net and fishing pole pretty quickly, and their stamina consumption acts a little differently. To put it basically, if you don't actually catch anything, you'll only use 1 stamina point. But if you do catch something, it will take up to a whopping 20 points. Just keep that in mind when you pass by a centipede and think you have plenty of stamina left. You can burn through it surprisingly fast. Pay attention to all items in your inventory before just throwing them into the shipping bin. You'll see these potential icons at the bottom of their description boxes: donated and offered. They will be grayed out if you haven't taken them to the appropriate locations. Side note, if you need to do both for an item, I suggest offering it at the altar before donating it to the museum to ensure you unlock more important things in the game first. Once you donate something, that box will turn green. If you've offered it, it will turn to a shade of orangish brown. If you've done everything you need to for both, feel free to do whatever you want with the item. Lastly, let me share with you this important thing to look out for in the mines: ore veins. See this symbol on the ground? If you strike at it with your pickaxe, it will show the next piece of the vein. Continue to hit it as it moves until it gets bigger, and then you can hit that one spot up to 3 times for bonus ore. And believe me when I say you are going to need a lot of ore for building things. Make sure to gather as much as you can. That'll cover it for this video. I hope you learned something that will help you out as you move into Starlet Town and find your feet. Is there anything that I missed that you feel would be beneficial for other beginners to know? Have you been sinking as much time into it as I have? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for sticking with me to the end, because as we all know, time is coral coins.